All right. So I'm here with Bruce Weinstein. He's in the home studio. And we're going to talk about these Roth IRAs. What is a Roth IRA? How in the world is this going to benefit the pre-retiree? And can it benefit the full retiree, Bruce? Where do we turn on this subject? What's the benefit of converting money from a regular IRA to a Roth?
I don't know. You tell me. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's because
Go ahead,
on
take
your
a shot.
regular IRA account, this has not been taxed yet.
That is
And
correct.
so in retirement, you want to get that balance down, hopefully, so that your RMDs will be a little bit less. And you'll have this wonderful Roth IRA money, which will never be taxed. And it can grow, and you can have this to use forevermore.
Why don't I just have you do the show, Jackie?
I'm just learning.
You learn so much in such a quick period of time.
You know, it's been a couple of years for crying out loud.
All right.
Tell us about our Roth, our Rothness.
All right. So first of all, the most effective and underused vehicle that you can invest in for legacy, the worst investment to inherit is a IRA, which could be a
regular
401k.
one.
A regular one. The worst inheritance is to get money from an IRA. Then you have to pull the money out within a 10-year period, and if you don't, you're penalized 50%, 50.
And you're taxed.
So Roth IRAs are built for flexibility, tax efficiency, and long-term growth. Obviously, you're going to contribute with after-tax dollars, but everything's going to grow tax-free, but you don't have to take required minimum distributions out of it. So it could be multi-generational wealth that's never taxed. This is the best place to invest money. And think about it. It's very similar to life insurance cash value without a death benefit. And it's actually an investment because you get to invest in things that are technically, they're more risk, but historically have produced a lot higher return than just the cash value of life insurance. But life insurance and Roth IRAs are very similar. After-tax dollars, tax-deferred, tax-free growth, tax-free distribution. The only difference with life insurance, there's no 59.5 penalty if you're younger, but they're not. It's not an investment. Life insurance is a savings account, okay? And it's only going to make 3-4% long-term, whereas in a Roth, you get to invest in whatever you want. And I believe it's one of the best investments you can have. And then you can talk about maybe converting some of your IRA, what's called a backdoor Roth IRA, which may not be a bad idea. You just have to make sure that you adhere to the tax brackets that somebody is in. You don't want to take it all out at one time. You have up to 5 years to do it from the date that you start taking money. It's not 5 years every time you start taking money. It's 5 years from the clock starts ticking the first time you take money out of it. And what are they going to do? They're going to send you a 1099, okay? And where do I pay the tax from? Well, you could pay it from the money because it's probably only 24%. But now you're growing this asset that never is going to be taxed in the future. It's a great tool. And folks, radio listener coming in next week, she didn't even know she had the opportunity of investing in one in her 401k. So 401ks today also have that Roth 401k. And the problem with IRAs, I think is a problem, is you don't get to put enough money into them. So contribution limits for 2025 are $7,000 if you're under 50 and $8,000 if you're over 50. So $7,000 or $8,000. And now, here's the other thing is if you make too much money, you can't put it in there. So you have to make sure that, you're within the guidelines of how much income you make. But for most people that are out there, you guys can, fund one of these things. I think it's a great place to start. Okay.
Yes. The question I have about RMDs, Mr. Weinstein, is if I start and I convert from a regular IRA into a Roth IRA account, how much time has to go by before I can start drawing from this?
5 years.
Okay. So it's good to get this up and running right now.
So the question, so it's okay. So depending on when you retire, you can somewhat plan because you somewhat want this done by the time you start taking income out. So that would mean that I would want to start doing it while I'm working. But then the problem is when you're working, you convert, you're talking about a conversion, right, Jackie?
Yes.
And when you convert that, so say your income's like, I don't know, $200,000 a year, and now you've got, say, $500,000 in an IRA that you want to move over to a Roth IRA. Well, now you're going to have to pick up that income, and you're going to have to make sure that you do it appropriately so you don't plug yourself into a higher tax bracket, which is not easy to do. But on the other hand, if you wait till you're retired, then you got to wait 5 years before you get the money out until it's seasoned. So I don't know. It's a tough call. This is why it's not that easy just to say, oh, everybody should do this.
Okay, right.
You know, I mean, it's not that easy of a call. You have to sit down and figure it out. Sometimes I have to call their CPAs. I don't know if they're taking, you know, they're itemizing, or they're taking their standard deductions and things like that. But I don't know. It's one of the best assets to own. That's all I can tell you.
That's a good generalization because everybody's different, and you can't just say, okay, everybody run out and do this one thing.
Well, you know, it's funny because when you invest, this is really good advice that I'm going to tell you right now. When you invest money and you save money in an IRA every single year, okay, the IRA or your 401k, for example, you're doing it to defer the taxes versus deduct. Now, let's go down that path here, okay? Mm-hmm. It is not a tax deduction. It is a tax deferral. Because the deduction you take today, you have to pay taxes on it when you pull it out. So is it a deduction or is it really deferral? So you're deferring the taxes on it till a later point in time where everybody thinks they're going to be at a higher tax bracket. Although they're not, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is it is what it is. Mm-hmm. So if it's not a deduction, it's a deferral. Would it be better then, Jackie, to put it into a Roth 401k plan and just not worry about the deferral and get the benefits of tax-free accumulation and tax-free distribution and never pay taxes on it and look poor to the IRS? So you don't even pay taxes on your Social Security now. Oh, did we talk about that? No, now you're not paying taxes on your Social Security income.
Beautiful.
Right?
Yes.
And then if you itemize your deductions, maybe you get healthcare deductions, then you can deduct some of these healthcare and long-term care premiums.
Oh, hey.
So now you don't have any income coming from an IRA. You're getting full Social Security income, and now you're looking poor. So it's 7.5% or 7% of adjusted gross income of any healthcare benefits or healthcare expenses. Then you can itemize those deductions. Well, when you don't have a lot of income, and you're going to probably be able to be in a better situation now. You may still qualify for the standard deduction, maybe bigger. But at that point in time, I mean, it's better not to show any money. That's what I think. So I'm all about sheltering money and doing it the right way. And think if you're a young man or a young woman working in a company in your 20s and you start this in your 20s, you'll have millions of dollars that are non-taxable in these Roth IRAs. I could show a 25-year-old putting away $200 a month. They'll have $1 million plus in their account in the next 40 years. They're 25 years old. They'll be 65. 40 years of compound interest. That's when it works for you. Now, the question again would be, maybe we should just do the Roth instead then, because what is the tax deduction or deferral going to help you with? It's going to help you with reducing your income taxes today. But it ain't going to help you tomorrow. And Jackie, by the way, you don't want to be putting a lot of money into your 401k plan when you're close to retiring. You definitely want to switch it to the Roth because you don't have any more time to defer. The money's in the barn, okay?
Okay.
The money's in the barn. There's nothing else you can do. You don't have enough time anymore. And so a lot of people still are doing this. As we're talking about it on the radio, they're doing it and doing it and doing it.
Good. I think you're absolutely right about the Roth contributions. Most people think they need to do these catch-up things. You know, in between 60 and 65, I need to just jam as much money into that 401k account as I can. But
No, don't worry about it. You know,
Okay.
Well, the best advice I can give you is just the match that they match in a 401k is going to go into the regular portion anyway. So you might as well just take the match, maximize it up to the match.
fine.
Because other than that, or if you...
Because they don't match into the Roth.
That's correct. They match into the
Okay,
regular.
this is
But
important to note.
It is important to note because you're still going to have a qualified plan when you retire, and you're going to have RMDs on it. Whereas this Roth, you're just not going to have anything. And the other thing that's really good about it is, like, when you leave it to a beneficiary, there's never going to pay taxes on it. So you don't have that required beneficiary IRA rules and all the other garbage we have to go through. You know, when somebody dies, it's hard enough, and then you got to deal with this garbage.
Right,
It just
these kinds of
sucks.
things. It can be
Yeah.
handled in advance. This is the important part to know.
Premier Southwest Planning Group LLC is a registered investment advisor. The content of this advertisement is intended for informational purposes only and is not intended to be investment advice. The views expressed in this program are subject to change based on market and other conditions.